Ireland, would you please welcome Super Chin Daryl Gurney. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and now would you please welcome from the Netherlands, Big Ben Benito van der Paas.
Third game of the third round here at the Austrian Darts Open, live from Vienna, the Multiversum, another sellout crowd of 2,300, there or thereabouts. They've already seen the world #1 Michael van Gerwen book his place in the quarterfinals. He'll be in action first game of this evening session against Martin Schindler in his first ever Euro Tour quarter-final. The Wall takes on MVG. Staying in that half of the draw, we turn our attention to the second quarter-final. The winner of Simon Whitlock and Cristo Reyes will face whoever comes through this encounter between the top player from Northern Ireland, Super Chin, Daryl Gurney, the number 12 seed here this weekend, and the number 5 seed, Benito van der Paas. Both very similar paths through to today's third round action. They both won yesterday, and they won relatively convincingly in the end. Benito van der Paas managed to come through against John Henderson 6-3, while Daryl Gurney saw off Johnny Clayton 6-2, but neither of them started very well. Both missed a series of doubles in the early stages of the game, and then they just found a way to get to a level that their opponents couldn't reach. They're going to have to turn it on today, though.
Daryl to throw first. Game on.
They'll really have to turn it on if they're going to go and claim their first Euro Tour title. Both former finalists on the European Tour, but not gone all the way to claim the trophy. I'm Dan Dawson, Paul Nicholson alongside me for the third game of the day. It's Gurney versus van der Paas.
125.
Well, that's not a bad start from Gurney. He wants a lot more of that. He wants to lay down a marker because he will think that if he can get through this game...
39.
It's the kind of confidence-boosting encounter with van der Paas that makes you believe he can beat anyone, really. Like I said to you before we started, Dan, it's the battle of the upright angles. We're talking about probably the two players in the world who throw darts and get them to land more upright than anybody else.
100.
Yeah, especially Benito. Daryl Gurney, some massive javelins of darts. It really does accentuate that angle when they stick in the board.
96.
But finding the trebles with regularity down to a finish after the first 3 visits to the board. Benito's not going to get to one, so Gurney knows he's got a little bit of time to play with.
59.
These guys perhaps the next cabs off the rank when you're looking at players who could really reach the elite level. Gerwyn Price is obviously sniffing around. He's going to be on the World Series. Daryl Gurney is going to be on the World Series. Benito van der Paas hasn't made a World Series yet, but you would think he's got to be very, very close.
86. You require 80.
It's very good to see Gerwyn Price play when he enters. No offence, Gerwyn, because you're bigger than I am.
But he is a very long way away, so I think you're safe.
Yeah, until about 2 weeks' time when we go to Barnsley.
Yeah.
Gives me the stare.
Gurney's left himself double 16. Benito van der Paas. It's another slow start, just as he had yesterday against Hendo. And Gurney takes advantage with double 16, 1-0 to the Northern Irishman.
You mentioned yesterday, Dan, that sometimes Daryl has problems just hitting the amount of doubles that he should. And there are players out in World Darts right now who are very good at utilising the visits that they get. I think if you were to ask Daryl, he would openly admit that his doubles percentages have probably got to go up by about 10%.
Yeah, he admits it's the weakest part of his game. He knows if he wants to be,
81.
in the words of Paul Merson, a top player, then he's going to have to hit more doubles. Because he believes his scoring power is good enough to mix it with Michael van Gerwen, Gary Anderson, Peter Wright.
I agree with you. I really do. I think from a scoring perspective, Daryl Gurney's got the lot. He's got the pants, he's got the shoes, he's got the suit jacket and the T-shirt, but he just needs the hat now, which is just just to finish the article, I think, just tip that hat. A few more doubles, and that'll solve that equation. But right now, not bad in this match.
170.
Admittedly, it's only 1 from 1, but it's a,
Hey, look.
it's a good start.
Flawless. I mean, to be fair, Benito van der Pas hasn't missed a double either, but, you know.
That's what you call
Prove
having
anything with
the
stats.
glass is half full.
81. Now you require 140.
Bit of a slip, that, though, from Benito. Only manages to leave himself 139, and Gurney, another one of those. Ooh, 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 ooh.
140.
Asking the question of Van der Pas, do you have a 139 in you? He doesn't right now. And Gurney starts this match better than the Dutchman.
Yes, he does. Now, can he get the breaker throw? Double two. No dramas for Daryl Gurney. It is 2-0. 16 darter and a 14 darter, so let's split the difference. That's 100 average.
Not bad at all. When you think about the potential for today to be a very long day, not just for the fans, for us in the comedy box, for the players as well.
And those guys.
How much of an advantage would it be for Daryl Gurney if he was to polish off Van der Pas quickly, with less stress, and give himself a few more minutes to rest going into a potential clash tonight with Whitlock or Reyes?
Well, the thing is, I mean, Whitlock got the job done yesterday. He was never in any trouble. But he does have this injury with his wrist. Cristo Reyes is a phenomenally capable player. And a few people I've spoken to think it could be a big weekend for him again. But the winner of this one may well be the favourites going into that quarter-final tonight, whoever comes through it. And right now, Daryl Gurney is doing everything in his power to make sure that it'll be him.
Oh, this could be the 180 of a century.
180.
Just to gamble on that and actually not go for the 18s on that third dart. A, it was lunacy.
Yes.
And secondly, it was incredible.
Well, yeah, look, had he hit a single 20 there, he would have been on a bogey number, Benito van der Pas. But it looked so good that he stayed there. Oh, and he doesn't get a go at the double for the 128, and Daryl Gurney for a 13 dart. So he's getting better, isn't he?
Well, that 128 would have signalled the best 308 points I've ever seen, probably. But it's not meant to be. Gurney goes 3-0 up. And now it's all in the history books. What has Van der Pas got as a riposte to this great start from the Northern Irishman?
Well, you know, he did fight back there, but it still wasn't enough. And this is the problem. With these guys, they might get through their opening game and they might not play their best. And I think both of them would admit that's exactly what happened yesterday with their victories. But once you get to this final day, when you're up against fellow seeded players, if your opponent starts turning it on, you can't afford to go to sleep for a couple of legs. And Benito van der Pas has at the start of this match, and he's given himself an absolute mountain to climb.
Well, the first dart in that 180 that he hit was so precarious. It was more precarious than Erwin Schrödinger's cat.
Well, there's a Vienna reference for you there.
Indeed it is.
And a philosophy reference. We are highbrow on the European tour.
But just to have the confidence to hit a 180,
85.
where if he'd have gone anywhere near that dart, it was on the floor.
Well, I know you're bigging this up. I think he's an idiot for doing it. He shouldn't have gone for that treble 20.
No,
I know he hit it.
He shouldn't have gone for the third one, absolutely. But the second one was just, I'll hit the right-hand side then.
True.
137.
Maybe
Much
one day
better.
when we get an interview with Van der Pas, we can ask him his thought process on it. But
Well, we may be interviewing him at the end of the evening when he's claimed his first European Tour title. But right now, he has to take out this double top. And he does do, and Benito van der Pas has woken up.
Game on.
Gurney will want to keep that distance and provide himself with less stress. The last thing he wants to do is get involved in a battle here. He's had a great start.
85.
He needs to eliminate darts like that. When you pride yourself on your scoring power and the fact that you can put those darts so close together on a pinhead just like this,
140.
when you hit a 5 like Daryl Gurney did in the last turn, it just makes your stomach turn.
Benito is still averaging 99, despite the slow start to this one, but he has just kicked into gear, hasn't he? And he can do this. He really can do this, Benito van der Pas, his second maximum. We have seen Benito put in big performances on big stages. I remember he really worried Gary Anderson the year that Gary defended his World Championship title. Obviously went on to claim the World Championship at Ali Pali for a second year running, but Benito van der Pas gave him one heck of an examination around about the third round stage, I believe it was. And that's over a longer format as well. He can play at that sort of level. We saw him average 110 in a Euro Tour final against Peter Wright. Missed starts for the title.
142.
Beaten Michael van Gerwen on more than one occasion on the European Tour stage. And he's looking good. Oh, well, that hurts. That really hurts. Just the 26 scored. Even an extra 20 points there would have left him on a 2-darter. As it is, he's got to use all 3 darts to see off 116 and get the break of throw to close the gap. And he's got problems here if Gurney fills up the treble 19, which he does.
He has got issues now. This has got to go. That's a gorgeous single 16. And that's a gorgeous touch. Van der Pas will not be denied. The pressure was applied from Daryl Gurney, but Benito van der Pas was up to it.
Fantastic darts we're seeing in this one. Benito van der Pas and Daryl Gurney showing us exactly why they are being talked about as potential Premier League players next year. They've been talked about as potential Premier League players this year, we know that. Neither of them made the cut, but super chin appearing on the World Series. Benito van der Pas not as yet, but don't rule it out, although those 2 darts aren't an exhibition of what we should get excited about.
Daryl Gurney's going to have to be, he's going to be so popular in Las Vegas with that walk-on song, surely.
Certainly, the European crowds are enjoying it. I was unsure when he first introduced it, whether it was going to prove popular, but it turns out you turn up at a venue full of several thousand Europeans having a drink and wanting a good time. A bit of Neil Diamond goes a long way.
Well, of course, Daryl is managed by Matt Ward, and Matt Ward also manages James Wilson, and they have 2 of the longest walk-ons that are actually possible. What is he going to do with Jamie Bain? Is it Bohemian Rhapsody? Stairway to Heaven? Stairway to Heaven's probably more likely.
Fantastic. Gurney piling in a maximum. That is 180 number 2 for Gurney. We've had 4 in this game.
95. Oh, it's a good dart, that, you know. Single 13 for double 16 for 2. Perla finishes. Oh, it's very good, you know. 3-3 all of a sudden. And we doubted whether Benito could get back in this match, and he's just done that.
Well, Benito van der Pas has come from 3-0 down to level at 3-all against a man who is still averaging 97. And Benito has not missed a dart at a double. He's taken out checkouts of 116 and 95, both expertly and under pressure.
Well, we talk about momentum in games of darts. Well, the momentum is all with Benito.
It is, but it's not as if Daryl Gurney has been playing poorly. It's just Benito has just managed to get a dart ahead of him in each of the last 3 legs.
Well, we saw someone in the crowd there. That was Matt Ward, otherwise known as Coinhead.
Because his head shaped like a coin. That's what they call it, coin. Maximum? Yes! Ka-ching!
This is boiling up very nicely. Best game of the afternoon so far. It might only be the 3rd game, but more gentlemen, please. This stage of European Tour events, Daryl Gurney gets embroiled in some real corkers, doesn't he?
I remember he was in Gibraltar where he had a game, I think it was at this stage, against Simon Whitlock. And fantastic game of darts, and Gurney's finishing managed to get him through that We were talking at the time, oh, Darryl Gurney's scoring power is amazing, his finishing is a weak spot sometimes, but his finishing then
85.
was brilliant. Wasn't quite as brilliant there, however, he knows he's going to have another crack at that double six.
It looks like Benito's having a bit of a leg off here. Not at the usual standard. But he's just left the finish, just in case Darryl Gurney can't peg this double six. Well, it's academic. 4-3 to DG. And now the darts are with BVDP.
Bearing in mind that these two are similar sort of places in a world ranking, they know that they have similar aims. They want to be in the Premier League. They want to be going and claiming Euro Tour titles. Darryl Gurney's only picked up one PDC title. That was earlier this year. Benito van der Pas won 3 last year. But they're in similar sort of stages.
134.
Are they aware of that going up against each other? They think, well, look, this is one of my genuine rivals to be at the top table in world darts, and this is a huge opportunity for me just to stake my claim and say, you know what, I am a better bet than this guy. You know, keep an eye out for me, because whoever wins this could easily go on and win the title. We know that because they've been close. But are they aware, you know, when you were playing and you were up against somebody who's in a similar, perhaps somebody else who's been talked about as a potential Premier League contender, did you think, right, this is my, I more than normally, I want to beat this guy just to show everybody that I am top dog here?
Absolutely right. Back end of 2011, I'd won 3 tournaments, just like Big Ben has done last year. And there were people that you just came up against and thought, you know what? It's between me and you.
Yeah.
And it was always Wesley.
Ah, of course.
It was yeah. It was always between me and Wes. He was winning titles, I was winning titles. People like Justin Pipe, Gary Anderson.
63.
That was the nucleus of the best players on the Pro Tour, and we were just battering each other week on week. But these guys, all of a sudden, it swung back to Northern Ireland, and Darryl Gurney, 3 legs to him, 3 legs to Van der Pas. Now it's 2 to Gurney, and he's 1 away.
Yeah, and Benito van der Pas, I didn't understand that shot that he had 108 and he looked at the 18s route. He hit single 18. He must not have liked the line, because then he'd switched to bullseye, and that is very difficult. 2 darts in hand going bull double top. That is a big ask. But ultimately, Darryl Gurney has taken out 52
25.
under pressure, and despite the fact that Benito is still yet to miss a double, Darryl Gurney, the man who says that the weak point in his game is his finishing, is 62.5%, 5 from 8. Look at that. The finishing has been world-class in this game, and they've done it under pressure as well. The other guy's always been nipping at their heels when they've been going for that double. Darryl Gurney is still averaging just over 97. And it's probably going to climb. It does climb. Very impressive stuff, this, from Darryl Gurney, the Northern Irishman. We've not seen him score like he can. We've not seen Benito score like he can either. But we know Darryl Gurney has got more in the tank.
Oh. You might wonder why those darts are flattening like that. It's because they're going in very steep, and there's obviously not enough punch in them. It's hitting the board, and it's just wilting. It's happened twice in a row, and that might be a sign that the end is nigh. Yeah,
you often see that with Benito. When he clips a wire, it just seems to change how the darts stick in the board, or get a deflection like that. But Darryl Gurney's looking at 108 for a 6-3 win to knock out the number 5 seed. And he knows, oh, wonderful dart, double 16. And there it is, Darryl Gurney, sublime finishing for the Northern Irishman. 75% on his doubles. Won the first 3 legs, won the last 3 legs, and he can forget about the 3 in the middle. Super Chin is through to the quarter-finals, and he will face either Simon Whitlock or Cristo Reyes for a place in the semis. He has made a European Tour final before, Darryl Gurney, and if he plays like that, he's got a very real chance of going all the way and claiming a first European Tour title here in Vienna this evening. The Austrian Darts Open continues. We're going to find out whom Super Chin goes up against in the quarter-finals tonight, as Simon Whitlock, the Australian, takes on the top man from Spain, the Spartan Cristo Reyes.